The federal government through the IRS can have an ongoing snooping process going on is repulsive. It's unacceptable. Nobody trusts the IRS, and for good damn reason. And then they want to hire tens of thousands of new auditors. Why do you think they're tracking this stuff? You think they need tens of thousands of new auditors to audit billionaires? I don't think so. It's the vast middle class that they're focused on, you. But look at the constant Marxism and the class warfare. They want to have a surveillance state that can go into your checking account and your savings account, but they want you to think about the top 1% ripping us off. Focus over there, over there, over there. The biggest entity ripping us off is called the federal government. The biggest entity stealing money from us is the federal government. The biggest entity blowing money left and right, the money they take from you, is the federal government. It's not the top 1%. Go.
So this proposal we're talking about is about preventing high-income individuals who are not typical wage earners, meaning they don't get paid through standard payroll, W-2s. The vast majority, I think it's something like 97% of wage earners are paying the taxes they owe. We're not talking about that.
Folks, that's not what she's talking about at all. Again, one more time. You have a W-2, you get paid that way, great. You sell your used car and it's over $10,000, they can stick their nose right into your checking account or your savings account. You understand what I mean, right? W-2 or no W-2. Billionaires aren't moving $10,000 here and there to evade taxes. If they're evading taxes, they're moving a lot of money offshore and other places, which the IRS has the power to investigate right now. They don't need a $10,000 trigger in any respect. That $10,000 trigger is aimed at you. When they talk about not paying taxes, they want you to pay taxes on things you typically don't pay taxes on. That's what they want. That's why they had the bar set all the way down to $600. So if you have a yard sale and maybe you make $800 and you put it into the bank, they're going to say, wait a minute, that's taxable income. That's what they're talking about. And now they're saying, oh, we've lowered it to $10,000 to get the top 1%. $10,000 to the top 1%, they spend more than that on mustard every year. So that has nothing to do with the top 1%. Again, that's aimed at you. This is propaganda. Go.
We're talking about the highest income individuals, 1%, who are responsible for $163 billion a year in owed but unpaid taxes. There are discussions, active discussions, I would note, with Senator Wyden and others in Congress about how to ensure this is absolutely targeted at those who evade tax obligations, including on the cap and potential exemptions. But let's be clear what this is about. It's about big banks deciding to protect wealthiest Americans.
Big banks protecting wealthiest Americans. This is so sick. This Marxist claptrap. Big banks aren't protecting anybody. Banks are the most regulated industry on the face of the earth, whether it's the Patriot Act, whether it's the FDIC, whatever it is, and they're audited constantly. You wire money overseas, the IRS looks at it, the feds can investigate it. I can go on and on and on. The Federal Reserve determines how much money banks need to have in place. It's just endless regulations on banks. So this isn't about big banks covering up for the top 1%. How exactly would they do that? They're transactional. They're not covering up for anybody. Go ahead.
Taxes they owe by fighting this common sense solution, and we want to be clear about that.
I don't see what business it is of anyone's what I spend out of my bank account and how much of it I spend.
The Treasury Department's fiscal year 2022 revenue plan includes this clause, creating a comprehensive financial account information reporting regime for business and personal accounts from financial institutions, including bank, loan, and investment accounts.
Got that? Bank loans. Bank loans. And by the way, not just banks, mortgage institutions, anybody. So if you go in and get a mortgage, or you refinance, or you tap into the capital that's in your home and so forth and so on, the IRS is going to track all of that. Go ahead.
It's not their business. I already tell them enough.
I don't feel that's appropriate, that the IRS should be looking into people's bank accounts.
They're trying to get in to see every little thing you're doing.
It could be a little invasive.
It's kind of over the top, and I just think it's an invasion of privacy.
Our bank accounts, you would think, would be somewhat private if you're just a regular Joe Schmo making money week to week.
So I do not think that the government should be intervening in individual bank accounts.
It is personal information. That's why we file taxes, too. They should not have access to all that stuff.
I don't think it's right. It's not their business what's in my bank account.
That's how Americans react. But I think they're going to impose this on us, and you'll see. And I wish I were wrong. This is aimed at you. This has nothing to do with billionaires. If they want to audit billionaires, they know how to do that. There's 1,000 trigger mechanisms in the Internal Revenue Code. This is to monitor you, the average American, middle-class Americans, whether you have a W-2 or not, whether you're retired or not, money coming into your account, or you're going to get loans, as an example. They want to be able to snoop, and they want the banks to snoop on you.
For all this and much more, sign up for LevinTV.